I talked to Dusty about this gimmick. I drew it out. There's a real guy named Black Blood back in France who chopped the heads off of the guys, put a mask on them and chopped their heads off. I did research.
Right.
And that's what they did in France, the death penalty, you know, pretty
right.
heavy, you know, lose your head. Like I used to say to my wife, you know, you say, I hate every bone in you except mine.
I like that.
Little humor, you know.
Right.
When she laughed about it. And so he liked the gimmick, and he put it by Turner, and he said he'd call me. When I got back to Portland, I didn't hear from him.
Right.
So I figured it was over, and I called up, and Dusty said, yeah, I like it. Let's start out, but it was starting out at $250 a match. It was a severe pay cut,
right,
you know, for me. I mean, but it was still $2,000 a week.
Was it weird working with Dusty again?
You know, I kept that in the back of my mind because always a big part of me wanted to knock the shit out of him.
Right.
You know, I mean, knock the shit out of him. You know, but Dusty always played this charisma gig. He was on my coattail too. He said, Billy, I'm bringing Billy Jack to Florida. He tried to play on my coattails because he was 38, you know, getting older in the business too.
Right.
And people will grasp at anything to a younger guy to still keep on top.
Right.
It's a battle to stay on top in this business, man. And I guess that's the only reason. But they took the Black Blood gimmick. I was there for, I think it was about 2 months. Kevin Sullivan was my manager, and he's here today at the autograph session, which would be really good to see Kevin. He was my manager, and after 250, after about a month and a half, they really liked the gimmick. Paulie Dangerously, John or Paulie? Paulie Dangerously liked it so well, he was pushing the gimmick to Turner, and he's got a lot of talent in his business. I think, formed ECW.
Yeah. Yep.
And next thing you know, I'm ready to sign a contract. And I believe it was for $500,000 for 2 years or a year. I'm not sure what it was. I went in and talked to Dusty. Now my ex-wife and Stone Cold are there in the territory. That's when Stone Cold told me about it. I told you earlier.
Right.
And he was a man about it. And my wife and I are still friends. And so my wife was making $250 as a manager, the same money I was making. I wasn't too happy with that. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm wrestling, I put my body on the line, and she's managing, and that should never happen. So that's when they come up with the contract thing.
Right.
You know yourself, like Luger and Sting and those guys, I was way ahead of those guys. Now they're making the big money. I want a piece of that money.
Right.
Right? But I'm 38. Now I'm trying to hang on, but I'm in good shape.
Right.
And Saturday I worked with a guy, and I won't mention his name, was top talent, and I was beating him with my finish. Guillotine, I had the mask on, and I come off the top rope and jump as high as I can, and like I'm cutting his head off, I put the black thing over his head, and then pin him, 1, 2, 3, and get up, and Kevin Sullivan would have me under control, and I had this axe, like they had in the Middle Ages, all black with red, black blood, you know, and then he'd take me out to the dressing room. That night, I came off, and the guy you got to lay there for the guy coming off the rope, and that's hard to do because if you're leaving your throat vulnerable, the guy could come across and kill you.
Right.
And that happened to a wrestler. A woman, won't mention his name because he's deceased. He killed 2 guys in the ring. So the wrestling fans will figure out who it is, but it was in the 60s, I think in the early 70s.
Right.
You're giving your body to your opponent. You could be killed at any time if you don't like the guy. You could chop him across the throat and take his throat out, kill him. You know?
Right.
Anytime you want. So you're literally giving your body to your opponent. So he got scared and put his hands up. And so I didn't want to break both of his arms, so in the air, I twisted. And as my knee pad hit, it tore my kneecap off all the way back around behind my leg. I went to the Philadelphia hospital, and I had to wait 6 hours to get in the emergency room because there was like 3 gang killings in Philadelphia. So I just lay there with pain medication running through me, you know, and like that. That's when I started taking pain medication.
Right.
It was in 1991. I had never taken them before.
Right.
All my injuries that I had in this business. And actually I became a pain pill addict.